Welcome to the Notary News Channel. This is a forum for all things notary and some things not. Please be sure to like and subscribe to receive notifications of the latest videos posted to the channel. My name is Desiree Roman Rodriguez, and I'm a subject matter expert in all things notary in the state of Illinois. I'm also an enrolled agent credentialed by the Internal Revenue Service to prepare taxes and represent taxpayers all the way up through the U.S. Tax Court. This week, I'd like to talk about the top 5 reasons why you are not receiving your income tax refund. The very first reason why you would not have received your refund is because you haven't given the IRS enough time. Remember, we are all in quarantine, and that means the IRS is too. So they are not staffed and working at 100% capacity as they normally would be, but they are still getting 100% of the work. So the first thing is to keep that in mind, and that they are still recovering from the backlog of 2019 tax returns, amendments, not only for individual taxpayers, but also for business tax returns as well. When the IRS says that they estimate you to receive your tax refund in 21 days, you have to keep in mind that that is 21 business days. It is not 21 calendar days. The IRS does not work on Saturdays or Sundays, and banks do not process deposits on the weekends. So if you are counting 21 days, be sure that you are not including the weekends or any holidays that may fall in between the time that you filed your return and the expected deposit date. For taxpayers that use Refund Advance, meaning you pay for your tax preparation through your refund, if you are utilizing a program like that, then expect for the day to be receiving your refund to be longer than 21 days. And the reason is you are authorizing for the IRS to send your tax return to the third party bank. So they receive your tax return first. Then they take the tax preparation fee, send that to the person or company that prepared your tax return, and then forward the remaining amount of your refund to your bank account. That typically doesn't happen in one day. That may take 2 days to process. If that bank doesn't receive your refund until late Friday, odds are they aren't going to process that payment to your tax preparer or forwarding the remainder of your deposit until the following Monday. So you have to account for all of these different things when you are trying to count the number of days before you receive your refund. The second reason why you may be experiencing a delay in your refunds is regular processing delays. Some of those processing delays can include the verification of your dependents. If you've experienced any issues with your dependents in prior tax returns, it's going to warrant a second look by the IRS. By the very nature of claiming earned income credit and child tax credits or American Opportunity Education credits, your tax return is automatically getting a second look. Other processing delays for this year includes the recovery rebates. So if you are claiming a recovery rebate on your tax return, then there likely will be processing delay so that they could double check and make sure that you didn't get mailed a recovery rebate or a stimulus payment. The third reason why you may not have received your refund is because your tax return is missing documents that you were required to file. In the last forum video, we talked about the 8862, which is if you had credits disallowed in a previous tax year, you would be required to file that 8862, essentially asking permission to claim those credits this year. But it's also very possible that you are missing the 8332. The 8332 is for non-custodial parents who are claiming children this year. So typically, if you are the one that is the custodial parent, meaning the child stays with you, the child lives with you, you typically have custody of the child, and you always claim that dependent, you are not required to have this form. But if the non custodial parent claims the child and there is no court order or divorce that indicates they are allowed to claim the child, then you must sign an 8332, or you must have the custodial parent sign the 8332. And if that document is missing from your tax return, that will inevitably cause delays, and you will get a letter from the IRS saying either give them the 8332 or they're going to exclude your child tax credits and that dependent from your tax return. Another reason why you may not have received your tax refund is that you have not reported a 1099. A 1099 would be either for money that you earned either on PayPal or Uber, working for Amazon or DoorDash or any one of those companies. There are times when independent contractors do not receive a 1099. And unfortunately, taxpayers are mistaken in thinking that because you didn't receive one, you don't have to report the income. That is not the case. Those companies still report to the IRS. They just may be delayed in getting the 1099 to you. But if you knew you worked for that company, then you knew you were supposed to report that income. Whether or not you are issued a 1099, any income earned over $600 is required to be filed on your tax return. So if you haven't received your refund and you know that you worked for a company, or you did work like DoorDash or Instacart or something like that, or you did sales on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark and were issued a 1099, then that has to be reported, and you have to have that on your tax return. And if it's not on your tax return, it would absolutely cause delays in any refunds that you would be expecting. The very last item that may be an issue why you have not received your refund is because your tax refund was intercepted. There are various reasons why an interception would be on your tax file. The very most common and the biggest one is back due child support. So if you have an outstanding child support case, you have not paid your back due responsibilities, then the IRS would intercept your refund and take that money to pay your child support obligations. Another intercept would be student loans. If you owe on your student loans, you've gone into default, or you think that, oh, they haven't contacted you, you don't have to worry about paying it, you are quite mistaken. What they have done is initiated an intercept to take your income tax refund to pay that student loan debt. The state can also initiate an intercept on income tax refunds. If you owe parking tickets or fines, if you owe court fees or court fines, and it's an obligation that's required to your county or state, then your refund may have been intercepted by the state. Other types of intercepts include back due federal and state taxes. Just because you moved from one state and now live in another state and didn't file a return for the old state, if you owed money to the old state, your tax refund can be intercepted to pay those back due state taxes. And then, of course, if you owe the federal IRS back due taxes, they absolutely will take your refund and apply it to back taxes due. There are many other countless reasons why your tax refund might be delayed, but these ones are the very most common ones. If you have questions or concerns about where your tax refund might be, the best place to look is going to be www.irs.gov and click Where's My Refund. That site is going to have the latest information that anybody can obtain regarding your refund. And let me just make very clear that just because you had your return prepared by a tax professional, that does not mean that the tax professional has access to your tax information or your tax refund. The only time any tax professional can contact the IRS and get information regarding your tax return, your tax refunds, or anything related to your taxes is if that professional has on file with the IRS a power of attorney, which means they are able to handle all tax matters on your behalf. If your tax professional does not have that document on file, they cannot obtain information on your tax return. So if you want to have a tax professional have that kind of access, then you would have to make sure to fill out a power of attorney form for your tax professional. If you use a tax professional to prepare your return, they are not going to be able to have a secret person that they can contact at the IRS to give them information. We only get the information the same way that taxpayers get the information, and that is by checking the website and looking up where's my refund. We don't get any information any faster than what's uploaded to the website on a daily basis. So that's all I'm going to have for this week. If you have questions, feel free to post in the comments below or send an email to info@romanendeavors.com. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.